What's up? Presento. Working on some Earthbound 2. None of these pages are super spoilery, so I'm going to be not trying to reveal too much still, though. So this is flatted. It's got to get colored, so that's what I'm going to try and do on the stream. Just, I guess it's like sharing a process. I can try and talk about it out loud a little bit. Grand Prix 2 is turning out really good, though. I'm really excited to get it out. That'll be when it's done 90 pages into the Grand Prix story, which will be 270, maybe 300, because there's a lot of action later, so the page count could go higher. 300 pages total. It's about a third through, which is deep enough into it to really get some stuff going. So say hi if you're in the chat. I'm gonna just first thing I got to do is some of these aren't quite the correct colors, so I got to get those. These are like flats aren't always the super correct colors. With this, the way I've had it is passing it to Jared, and he kind of does the flats, but he does them kind of like almost like guessing what a good color would be, and I usually just use those. So he's like, it's like, I think the credit is like color assist, and then I'll change whatever. So what we want is let's get WizKid skin tone. I think yeah, that's the right hand. Okay. So then this is the process is like a little bit like what's a word? It's like a headache. So I'm like, where's WizKid? I gotta find WizKid. Oh, and that one is the wrong tone because he's in the distance, so it's been faded. That is the right one? Okay, I'll go with that. So then I dropped that because those flats had been adjusted. So then it's page 71. I'll go W, select on the layer, disconnected. He's only in this panel. Okay, boom. See, it makes it like lighter and richer because that's a little too dim. That would print kind of just too dark. Some of my comics got printed too dark. It's my own. I've been learning as I go, like what will hopefully look good in print. This one's a little more saturated than I usually do. Like this page, like very saturated. So when it goes to print, it gets converted to CMYK, which it kind of like selectively desaturates it. And it actually looks better. I kind of think I love the CMYK look. So I'm pretty sure that will just happen naturally, but I'll double check as I go. Vanatra, what's up, man? Polis Arts, how's it going? Vanatra, we got to stream again soon. I'm kind of just working now. I got half a mind to send link to both you guys. We'll hang out, but I think I'm kind of just trying to get a little work done here. 6 people watching. How's it going, everyone? But Vanatra, I want to stream, and Paulus too. It was fun hanging out that one night. Maybe we can do it again. Cool. So did I? Oops. Okay. Got that. These maybe lighten them just a touch. What's this? See, that's his leg. So at the W, if I hit W is the shortcut, then this auto select, there's like 2 types, or sometimes these are all in the same row. So I don't know why this one only has 1 option. Refer to all layers. Some of it got moved to its own tab. I'm like, I want to move this into that tab, but whatever. So there are 3 options. So for referred layers, it's just the layer you're on, or you can mark a layer to be referred, set as reference. But I just go with the layer I'm on. That's a really great way to select layers fast. But if you want to go to select all layers, because like if I do this one, see it won't distinguish for the ink line, but I want the ink line to be distinguished. So I go that one, boom, fill. So we're blocking out all these shapes. This is actually the mushy, half-eaten giant banana. So this So this has to be recolored. And I should probably use this one selection for this. Yeah. So then if that's the giant mushy banana, that can be it too. Then I got to go back and find my mushy banana. Where is it? Where's my mushy? There it is. Mushy banana. This is the first comic with a giant mushy banana in it. A giant mushy banana. You know what I'm saying? Like we're still forging a future of the arts. Comics is a young art form. There are still things that need to be done within this art form. We are pushing the boundaries. We're getting some giant bananas in there. Okay, what page was that? This one. So, yeah, something like that. That's if I'm actually kind of coloring this now when I getting a little. There's the underlight on the banana. Call it a banana if it's too many syllables to really go for. Whatever. And I'll use a color hold on that line too. Now this monkey brain here, this needs to be a different color. Connected. So I don't want to select everything, just that one. Find me some monkey brain. Where is it? Here's a monkey brain. Well, here's a monkey brain. Monkey face. Monkey see, monkey do. Where's a monkey see? Monkey see? Here's a monkey see. Boom. Oh, that's monkey hair. Here's monkey face. There it is. No, that's light. It's hard to find, I tell you what. Here it is. There might be a better way to do this, but this is the way I had been doing it. He's got a green cape. Where's his green cape? Here. But that's his. I think it'd be like that. No. Here. That's the light shade. I want the dark shade. Okay, this is funny. The dark shade. Can I just hide this and then they go dark? Okay, we'll do that. It's on this layer. I was like, the only place to find the dark shade of the light green on the little armadillo guy, you'd have to zoom in. Zooming in's cool, whatever. There it is right there. Could get it there. Or I could just undo the whole layer. I could do some Zen layer cleanup too sometimes if we're hanging out. Sometimes that's the way to. Jolly Green, what's up, man? Yeah. So what color did I grab? I forget. This one. And then there's a Xena Warrior Princess. Is that? There's open gap. So I got to find Xena's hair. That's too dark or too light. There. Okay, I can change. Oops, I can change this. That's the Xena hair. File save. And then Xena Ted armor. Shoot, where is it? Okay. Xena skin tone. This is small on the page. She's obscured and in the background. So you almost like deliberately want to draw her not detailed because drawing her too detailed would like draw attention to her where you don't want attention. But hitting the colors just right kind of helps for like the subconscious reading. So that could read that she's there. I don't think, and when I have the lighting too will possibly help. This bowl here, we have red bowls on the table. And Bananas, grapes. Here's some more monkeys. Monkey brain. That could be like a nice, refreshing green. I don't. There are some drawings I had where it was like, yeah, maybe this, like some lettuce, a lettuce bed for the dude. Now one question is, what is this bro back here? Unlock. Okay. So that guy, is he on this page? Yeah, he's right here. But these colors, I guess I could just go with these. This is one. It's funny, you relaxed for 1 second when you weren't supposed to, and then now he shows up once on a previous page, and I didn't double check. So now I will eventually have to go to that one if I choose these colors. So yeah, he's just got the gray white armor kind of thing. So yeah, again, kind of trying to hit. Where is it? Okay, there's that. Oops. Yeah. Freaking okay. Gray, white, red. Definitely just shape in the background, basically. But that's cool. And this is the shoulder of the sumo wrestler. Where's my boy, the sumo? There he is. Earthbound Grand Prix is, and Earthbound 2, it's a little bit like a story mode for a fighting game, but if the story mode is like as awesome as you could possibly make it, and if it's also like the length is kind of funny. It actually is, when it's all said and done. What would it be? So it's three about 250. We'll say if we even round down. Grand Prix is like 300, but Earthbound was like 250. Grand Prix will be 300. But and then there's one after that. It's kind of like a trilogy. So that's 750. And then there's the gaps, which is 250 in between Earthbound 1 and Grand Prix, which is all written, but I need to like get around to that. And that's a funny one because it's kind of, the reading order is meant to go Earthbound, then Grand Prix, then the gaps. I think the gaps is like a prequel to Grand Prix because I just want it to be that way. But you could read it just in order too. So it's like two possible reading orders. And there will eventually be, I think, an absolute what do you call it, prequel to Earthbound. And that might not be a full graphic novel like a 250. So that one might just be like 100. And that would make the whole series at 1100 pages. But it's like, it's not exactly one giant story. It's like a little bit episodic within these giant episodes. But Earthbound and Grand Prix definitely connect, and there almost could be considered one story because Earthbound is all about the Grand Prix. Basically, it's about what happens right before, and then after the Grand Prix, it's kind of, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it's just explores more. It does continue the story, so but I have some fun ideas for where that's going to go. Alex Wither, what's something? Are the final chapters of pure battle royale? Yes, but things happen to make it not be exactly what you'd think. Because I noticed that about, if you do like, because Grand Prix is like a fighting tournament, and I thought for a while, I'm like, should it not even be a fighting tournament? Should it be something else? And I was like, no, it should be a fighting tournament. But then it's another question of like, okay, so if you have a fighting tournament, the story can't really be necessarily um like A fights B and A wins, C fights D and D wins. So then A fights D and then A wins. And then meanwhile, M and K fought, and now so A has to fight K. Who's going to win? K actually beats A that time. Like that actually is kind of okay, but I didn't want to do that. So like, okay, there has to be something else. So I did jack the most basic idea from one of Bruce Lee's best movie called Enter the Dragon, which is where he goes into a fighting tournament as an undercover agent. And so that's like the Grand Prix starting off point kind of. Around it though is like a lot of cool sci-fi world building and ideas that aren't super common um, in comics or sci-fi. There's about these rings. If anyone, a lot of it is set up pretty successfully just in the first double issue, like basically the rings and the reincarnation and stuff. So everyone kind of knows that now. Then we start to play with those rules as we go on. 9 people watching. How's it going, everyone? Thanks for hanging out. Got Oliver in the chat. What's up, Oliver? Oliver is a great colorist, great artist. Um, yeah. Simply Green, parallel plot line, murder at the races. Yeah, 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 something like that. That's kind of like the kind of stuff you do. Simply Green, I shared a little something he's working on, and I really enjoyed it. I was just thinking, like, should I say that publicly? I think that's fine. I just thought I really enjoyed it, Simply Green. So yeah, good stuff. He's working on a little something. Um, well read. What's up, man? How's it going? Good to see you. Let me see what Alex Witherow. Blogart's growing of a mustache is an important step in his character development. It has deep implications. It's true. Blogart is funny. Um, yeah, I was calling it as I was trying. I didn't. I don't think I actually wrote this dialogue, but there's like opportunities for jokes, but then you don't even know if you want to do it. But it's like, um, what is the guy who does the silent film stuff? Charlie Chaplin. It would be like someone being like they would call Blogart's mustache a Hitler stash. Like, Blogart, since when did you have a Hitler stash? He's like, it's not a Hitler stash. It's a Charlie Chaplin stash. Something like that, which is maybe stupid. It's not even in the book, but it's somewhere. Um, the only thing I have going for me right now is time, so I can spend it going over things. The implication is he forgot to shave. Yeah, I think it could be like he can only grow a stash. I think that's probably true. He can't grow a beard. Um, yeah. Okay, let me see. So almost got all these colors here correct. You know what's funny is I have to guess who this is. That's like the head of someone, and I have a map of everyone sitting at the table, so I want it to be oriented correctly, and it is. But I've been kind of fixing it as I go, and it's like a little bit of a headache. And I don't know how much that will even like pay off, but it can help a little bit of like the understanding of the kind of what's going on or whatever. It's this guy. That's him from the back, but he's like a knight. Some of the characters are generic. Actually, that's almost another random thing, but generic characters are cool sometimes. But it's hard to explain exactly why. But you almost don't want every character to be like super crazy design or whatever. Sometimes you just want a nice generic character. And that's like even with Earthbound, it's like I don't want like I think even fighting games, I don't know, like they could slip a generic character in there. Like if in Street Fighter, which their designs are kind of awesome, but if like a knight, what would you call it? Like a knight with a cross on his chest and a just like a regular old knight with an awesome sword and a shield. Like if he walked into Street Fighter, you'd be like, sick, I want to play as this guy. But it's like a generic knight, it's like just what you picture if you close your head. So I put one of those guys in Grand Prix. Um, yeah. Oh, this guy's kind of generic. The generic's kind of Zorro-ish kind of guy. Skip Betters, what's up? That guy has a cool pose. Are you talking about the Zelda guy or the Zoro guy? Shit, this guy I gotta figure out his. See, this is I was telling people this is what's kind of annoying about the process, though. I probably should have like all reference on one page and just have that open at all times, but I've been having to go back and find the pages. Where's the dude? Like he's not even on these pages. Oh, there he is. But that got retified a little bit. Oh man. Oh, can I do this? Yeah. No. Oh, that got like I yellowed that to sink it into the background, so that's not the right color. Open. See if I can find him. And I just have to find this one guy just so I can get the color right. This is why this takes me a long time and it kind of drains me mentally. Even though it's like mindless work. I don't know. Where is he? Where is he? I could have sworn. Here he is. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. That's with lighting and without. Want to keep the lighting simple. That's another one. Like the lighting here is like a stroke across the middle of everyone. If you go in and do it like individually, it's weird. It looks like jumbled and weird. But if you do it like a giant stroke, it looks awesome for some reason. Okay, got the color. That was our quest to get the color of the Zorro guy. I threw the Zorro guy in last second because I needed someone to make the tables even on the left and right. I needed one more character. And I was inspired by Sean Gordon Murphy's Zorro. I was like, if he's going to make Zorro a gay woman, I'll put a real Zorro in my story. Just kidding. Much love to Monsieur. I don't think I've shown his hair yet. I don't know what it should be. This is not his. She wear gloves? Whether or not they wear gloves is kind of important in the story a little bit because it's that some of that could mean whether or not they have a ring. But then some people bluff it and some people anti-bluff it where they literally wear the ring in public to kind of say F you because the rings are super valuable and people would want to steal them. And it can change the psychology of the fight whether or not you have a ring or not. Because if you have a ring, it means you won't die if you get killed. You'll get reincarnated. But if you don't have a ring, then you will die. Which actually, that's one thing the guy says is like it's actually sort of an advantage. You got to watch out for the people without the rings because they're really playing to win. Yeah. Shoot. Well, okay. The skin color for my boy here. Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, he has like this dark red hair. So the hair can be just like that, I guess. Kind of like dark brown. This is supposed to be the guard, like he's holding his sword, and that's the guard. So we will make that. Maybe we can make it gold. I'll color in the metal and the gold later. And then that's his pants. I'm like, there's him under the table because there's a plot under the table. And that shows what his color his pants are. So now I gotta find that and find. See, I'm like, I'll just guess, or I'll fix it later. 10 people watching. I don't know the best mental way to approach this. Like, fuck, do I really need to go find the page that shows his legs under the table, pull the color, then move it back, place it in here? I can kind of remember what it's like. Well, for one thing, this probably can just be skin still. I think he has like actual red pants, kind of like, if I just guess, like that. No, it's bugging me because what if it's wrong? Okay. under the table. There's one under the table. That's not okay. Where's the under the table page? Oh yeah. This is it. Okay, that's it. But now this is funny because that's actually dark. So because this is shaded because it's under the table. So that's the color though. So I think I got it. Let's see how much it changes when I hit fill. And we can look at these numbers too. 2,735. Boom. 2,735. Wait, what? Did I get it? What did I just do? Oh yeah. It won't. I gotta select. If I go here, the new one. Freaking. That's the old one. 1982-38. Way different. Whatever. But you can see it wasn't that different. The new one. But it needs to be lighter anyway. So that would have worked. I didn't need to go find it. Okay. Here's his cuffs. His cuffs are blue, glowing. In the script, he's called Cuffs. I'm pretty sure. And the Cuffs is a Jawbreaker. Okay. We got almost everything here. What else needs to be messed with? Old Blogue. This is actually a glove. Because him and WizKid, they have two rings, but only one set of gloves, and they want to cover the ring with a glove for safety. So they Michael Jackson it. So they both just have one glove. So I could draw his other hand to show that thing they can put. Okay. It's slow going business, I tell you what. I think we got everything. Oh, we gotta get Julia. She's too dark. Lighten her up a little bit. Cool. You guys might like when I actually get to the lighting spot. It's kind of cool, but there's a few more steps. So what's next? We can do some color holds next. This is working. The flip. Oh yeah, cool. Color holds. I just fill it with the color that's inside of it and then darken it. That's the one shortcut I have customized is brightness contrast. I switched it to how Photoshop had it. So boom. See, then like it sinks and disappears completely when I pick the color, but then I darken it and then it looks kind of like a good color hold. Same with this here. And sometimes in the last step, you do like a little cleanup. I don't know if I have a page open where I do a cleanup pass. We kind of zoom in and you just get rid of some of the nicks that look like they shouldn't be there. This. Oh. There will be a color hold also on all the gold items and the brains. So let's do the brains. Color holds look kind of nice. I don't know what's up. I don't know why that is. Oh, this brain hasn't been colored yet, but still get the color hold. Oh, wait, that work? Yeah. All right, and then just getting a little bit of this. Okay. I need my gold samplage. It's funny, it looks good with flats too. I want to do a comic with all flats, one and just like kind of just that's the way it is, and then like just like learn to love it. Me learn to love it. Skip, what's up? Trips, awesome one. What's up? Simply Green. Making rules can be both fun and frustrating. Looking back over things for inconsistencies and conflicts. Yeah. Cahill, post Kang's raid. What's up? Thanks, Richard. How's it going? Richard's a good regular of the channel. A good. I think there was one time I wrote like an open letter to Sean Gordon Murphy, and you told me to delete it, and I did. I was like, you keep me honest. I feel bad. Well, the Sean Gordon Murphy stuff's weird because so what? Yeah, I don't know. I want to be his friend, kind of. I guess I've always kind of wanted that, but I'm also kind of an asshole to him, so I feel bad. Oh, those are all Grand 2 yeah, it's almost done. Part 2 is almost done. In a matter of days, really, it'll basically be done. But it won't launch until after I fulfill Hotel Story. But that is going to start fulfilling in a matter of weeks, basically. Maybe setting Space Station Lightroom a circular room with lit wall sunshine. Indeed. Dele says, Grand Prix video game when? I don't know. But that would be sweet. I want to do some video games for sure. You know what I kind of want to do is a like dialogue tree, like adventure game where you're kind of just it's just cool art and then picking dialogue tree. I think that'd be really fun. I think that'd actually be like you can make it pretty fun for that kind of game. You know what I mean? 7 to me watching. How's it going, everyone? Okay. 71. Okay, I gotta find my gold. Here's my gold. Okay. I gotta get my gold. I will grab some reference for the gold. Okay. C V drag my gold. It looks pretty wonk. Reselect. Okay. And then I'm just going to go paint straight on the layer. I have the flat layer beneath it, so that's great. Well, actually, yeah. If I need to get the flats, I can just go to that gray layer. Boom. Just hitting these 4 tones on every piece of gold looks like kind of okay. Sometimes you can make it more shiny at the end. I'll show you guys that if we so want. Do, 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 do. All right. Bam. All right. Now, if we want to, let's delete this. So that, and we're going to add a color hold too, but So we could go more contrast on these even, like even more shiny. See what I'm saying? Uh, but that's honestly pretty dang shiny. That's without, go back to our color hold space. We select all these. Try and get pretty close to this shape when other lines, because it'll hit any line. Yeah. That was all technically gold back there, but I might. That's so far. I might gray that out with the gold of the background. So atmosphere. All right, boom, and then you darken it. And it looks pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. See this guy right here. See, I can gray him out like that. Then he fades. It's a little atmosphere. I could do that on Julia too, but I don't want to. That's a bowl. Sometimes those have a little green. I don't like it. Save. Okay. Is Blogart's skin good? Did I get him? Old Blogy? Where is he? So begins the quest to find Blogart. Okay. Boom. Yeah, look at that. Lightens it just a little bit. It's good, a little more readable. His hair being dark looks cool. All right, I'll show you guys the cool step. Now the next step is like a good little trick for anyone working in Clip Studio. Even this is like a good trick. I'll show you, but I'm going to catch up with the chat for just a second. There are better artists that are way more approachable than Sean Gordon Murphy. Yeah, that could be. Trips post Kings. Hiya. Hey Trips, what's up? Commonly comes up in the sci-fi The Thing. Mysterious object or holodeck makes people go nutty. Oh yeah. I watch a lot of bad movies for concepts. An evacuation craft drifts into deep space. An AI-driven sense room acts as a kind of VR therapist, but it then becomes suicidal. That's funny. That is funny. Suicidal AI is hilarious for some reason. Like, and kind of like how, cancel culture is kind of like trying to get people to commit suicide, which is terrible. And AI is associated with like social media a little bit, especially with TikTok. And then social media is associated with cancel culture. It would be funny. This came up on kind of on the creative block, but if it's like, what is the vision of the future? What even futures could we do now? Like back in the day, visions, whatever. There's plenty more, but there's one I thought I'll tell you guys that's funny. But one could be in the future, it's just two AIs running everything, and they're both trying to get the other to commit suicide, I think. But maybe maybe they are suicidal. Maybe there could be a third who is suicidal, but whatever. Suicidal AI is kind of funny. But another one that's kind of funny is a future where everyone is kind of fit and healthy. Like it's like the Star Trek fit. Like Star Trek was kind of meant to be a super optimistic take. I don't know if it came out in a time that needed that, or if it was already, if it was like in earnest, like no, this is where we're going, or if it was more like this is what we need right now. But we could use like a future like where just everyone is fit and healthy and beautiful women everywhere. Like the 1980s basically. If that was the future, that would be a good sci-fi movie. Just that. That's the plot. What's the plot? Just that everyone is hot. Women everywhere, just hot women. That's kind of a Male fantasy, I guess. I don't know. If there were more hot women, then then even I could get a girlfriend. Alex Withero, I really enjoyed the first Batman White Knight. The guy's an extraordinary draftsman, but everything Sean Gordon Murphy's done since, you can see him trying to appease his critics. It's frustrating. Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree with that. And I don't know. It's yeah, it's like it's vexing. I've said that in the past. Sean Gordon Murphy, he vexes me. It's vexing. Sir Owen Almighty, what's up, man? Sir Angus Bungus, what's up? What we got here's Richard K.L. Star Trek was the peak of the Cold War, middle of Vietnam, destruction of traditional value in America by hippies. So it was a little bit more like, no, 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 no. This is what we need. Not the way we're going. We need to change course. This is a future that we need. Background noise, what's up? It's really hard to argue for eugenics, even if it means hot chicks and 8-inch backers. Yeah. Well, what if it somehow wasn't eugenics? I don't know. But yeah. Cool. Well, okay, I'll show you guys the trick. So the trick, which I've showed it in the past, but what we do is here's my color with all my, and this is actually shades. This is bright enough, but this is like the dark shades. So I want the bright shades. So I'll go I go Control V. I'll do it twice. So now I got 3 versions of it. And then the top version, you could just do it with 2, but I like 3 because I keep the base layer at the very bottom. So then I selected all the layers now. I go 1 layer above that. Select just the background, kind of the aura. This is an orange background. So here's the aura. So here's the lighting of the room. I make it soft light. And then this is still that dark shades with the soft light. It actually looks nice, but it's almost too much, like you could do a whole book that style if you want, like where it's like heavy, where the background and the foreground are heavily influenced by each other. But what they can pop the other way, it's more like collage or whatever, and anywhere in between. But you kind of want to go consistent, or within each scene, you could be like, this is a scene where the background influences the character colors a lot, or this is one where not so much. It could go to the point where the characters become like monochromatic, like the background or whatever. That's like crazy. If it's underwater, sometimes that could be a way you could do it. But so then I'm going to brighten this quite a darn bit. Then I got to get that contrast up so it looks nice. So that looks good. And then I'll merge this down. Now this is my brights. I'll drag this under. So now I got my darks back. I'll make a mask. Now I'll just use my pen because part of my style with this book, kind of by design, is the lighting on the characters is sharp. It's the pen tool. It's always these sharp lines like this, no gradients on the characters, except in very rare exceptions when it might come up. But and then the backgrounds are all gradients, and that's a cool contrast. Like animations kind of like that back in the day with cells, and you had painted backgrounds. Here we got low poly 3D backgrounds that I construct myself and take all the photos myself, put it all together, whatever. But and then the characters have the flats. So then beyond this too, there's one other thing is like I think I mentioned, but I could try doing it as like this big stroke or little. We'll see what works best. But because I was like, damn, that looks cool. Like that huge stroke there. Even hitting him on the edge looks cool. Maybe I will get smaller to hit our boy here. But it's weird if you get like too detailed. Sometimes it's like, why are you focusing on him? Why is he? And we want our boy Blogart. I could cut out that overlap later. The thing is, I'm kind of playing the table as being a little bit of an underlighting kind of thing. Yeah, so that actually looks better for Blogart. And then I'll cut back. I could shrink the. Yeah, There are various ways to do this. I'm just kind of trying to, oh, whatever. Every time I hit C, you see over here, it's switching between color or transparent. If we go transparent, that's erase, and that works on so I'm in the same tool, I'm just hitting C. So C will make it add or subtract to the mask. And then you can kind of carve in the light, and it will make every color, like it will cut between colors. So you're not selecting, doing the light for that color, select that color, do the light for that color. You can do it all in one foul swoop. I think that's the right. I don't know what foul swoop means. Those kids got shiny butt. Shiny butt. See, I don't know. I don't know the best way to do this. Try a big brush on Wiz. Just like a big old scrunk. See, you could kind of light the whole thing and it looks cool, but whatever. It's like, what looks good? I don't know. The banana. Think a smaller brush. Yeah, here's our monk. And our monkey, little underlighting right here. This bowl. This glass. Cut the glass back out. This guy. Oh, that color needs to get messed with. Shit. Whatever, we can do that. This is all okay. I want Blowguard there. I don't know. Maybe. No. We can flip it. What looks more? See, these are the tools we got. We got to make it look good with these tools. Like it's one shade of lighting. I don't know. That kind of looks okay. Oh, that looks cool. Cool. I think that looks pretty cool. Okay. I don't know. Should I get the whole shoe in there? Should I try and get more on this guy? I don't know. Oops. I can get that shading on his pants. See, that's like too dark though. Yeah, I think that's probably. I don't know. I think that's good for now. I just got to change this guy's colors here. So I will just merge it down now. Kind of committing. So this is this guy. So crap. what even flipping? I don't even know. Try this one. It's got light there. Yeah, we got this. And dark. There. Brown. Now I just got to do these other two panels. And then maybe clean up this panel if I do a clean. You'd be surprised what the clean, like a little cleanup pass does. It takes like 20 minutes, maybe less. So, but maybe we will do that before I sign off on the. See what everyone's saying. Do you ever read the Uglies series? It's a teenage dystopian trash, but the dystopia they fight against is actually positive, beneficial, and everyone's beautiful and healthy. That's funny. Is it like ironic that they're fighting the good guys, or is it like not ironic? I don't know. Not aware. Or... Haven't done any coloring since switching to Clip Studio over a year ago. I'll watch this back in full as a refresher. Cool. Yeah, it's all about, for me, it's all about the W tool. The, what's it called? The lasso kind of thing or whatever. Getting your flats in and then using that a lot. I remember reading an interview with Frank Miller discussing big gestural pen strokes using his whole arm to draw. He thought it captured the initial energy of form and the composition better. Yeah, and you can do that. It's like too easy with digital. Like you can cheat almost, but definitely digital. You can do that. Adam Miller, what's up, man? I always like learning how to use digital art tools. Yeah. The main takeaway that hopefully I can show that maybe people haven't seen or whatever is just that masking tool. So now because I duplicated it, I have the layer beneath is just with flats, which I tell you what, like it still looks good, but and then with colors, yeah, it looks cool. I should decide. I can't decide if I want to clean it because sometimes I like it being just a little messy. Like we're pretty zoomed in here, you know. Like I don't even think if you're holding it in your hand, you would never see it this close. But maybe as an exercise, I can try and show you guys. I don't know, a little. Okay, yeah. So if I go, there's what the color holds. You see that they add. It's kind of nice. So above all that, I'll do the fix. This is like maybe not even the best way to do it, but I don't know. So then I got my pen now, and now I just color pick next to the nicks. If there's any nicks I don't want, and I am zoomed quite a bit in, we'll say so. So these nicks, like I probably don't want those. They aren't adding anything. And then if my nicks are like this nick is kind of cool, I might leave it, but whatever. I'll try and get a little bit of it out. If anything does feel like over fixed, like this actually could be like a fold in his elbow. If I get rid of it, it's actually kind of cooler with it. This is definitely something that could be fixed. This as well. What would be a good way to? Definitely just messing around with some shit here. See, that's kind of weird, but I'm going to leave it. Oh, look at this hand. So lovely. Probably leave all this. Like even that, I don't know. That can go, that can go. Add a little. Should I leave it or get rid of it? Get rid of it. All right. We're just, see, it gets kind of zen. We're just going through the whole thing. It doesn't take as long as you think. See, that probably is better gone. This can all stay. This can go. See those? Yeah, maybe just the tiniest little nick is nice. You don't always want too many. I think there's some tool that can stop the nicks from happening. Like where it's, I don't know if it's AI or what, but it knows when your pen draws too far into another shape and it would stop it. I would almost use that if I knew how to use that. Because some of these nicks are like just caused by my pen being lifted up and still registering as a touch. Old blog right here. What should this be? Sure. Go here. Here's WizKids shoe. Here's a giant monkey face. This is definitely a little nicky, but whatever. We'll look at the before and after and we'll see what it does. With or without. I'll leave that one, whatever. Get rid of this one? Sure. Kind of arbitrary. Leave that one. Oh no. What is this crap? I don't know what that line is, but I don't. Okay. Should we? I can do this with the W if I want. Let's do that. See, I don't know. Probably. That's a funny one where it's like kind of looks cool with it, but probably. What if this whole thing is like that? Extra bright. Can't decide. I can't decide. What's it look like? Flip it. I guess like that. I don't know. Oh, you know what's crazy though? We're over the top. That can actually maybe be fixed at the bottom. The top is just for fixing nicks. Fixing nicks. Look at this thumb. Probably want to fix that. Fix that? No. Fix that? No. That? No. Oh, no. No, none of this. Fix this? Yes. Fix that? Yes. Fix that? Fix that? Fix that? Yes. Okay, let's see what's up. Wait, did something happen? Take it. Okay. I think that's probably good enough. All right. Well, it's not crazy. That's with and without. You can see. It's not, honestly, it's crazy. Without, it almost looks better with. I don't even know. But that's like a little bit of that cleanup. It's not always the case. Sometimes the cleanup definitely makes it look better. But I swear it looks a little bit better with it being messy. That's better. But I don't know if I want to just. So then what I can do is try and identify where the cool energy is. It's kind of everywhere. I don't know. I'll leave it on for now and sleep on it. I might delete that cleanup layer before it goes to print. 28 people watching. How's it going, everyone? Thanks for being here. I could try and finish these panels too, but that's the good process of showing you for those panels. Let me just catch up real fast. Angela Curry, what's up? How's it going? The time on that snippet I sent was also a placeholder. Oh, cool, cool. Oh, Sugar Fit says it's unintentionally ironic. The Cypher protagonist is completely overshadowed by a side character who has personality. That's funny. Angela says, love that effect. I know I should be using masks, just haven't taken the time to learn. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's pretty easy to learn, and they're pretty useful and fun, I think. It's a workflow that works good working with other people too, because then you just wouldn't flatten it, because then everything is reversible. You just mess with the mask. You're not messing with the lighting really, other than the mask. Non-destructive, I guess they call it. The second you flatten it, which is what I do, then that's destructive. And fixing it all on a top layer is sort of like destructive in a way. Or it's not destructive, but it's like you'd kind of have to. Then if you need to make a change, you have to fix like multiple layers in reverse order. Yep. Well, Stutzel, what's up, man? Yeah, so I might end the stream here, try and finish this page, relax for a bit, go to bed, watch a movie. I've been watching lots of movies, but I don't know. Movies are funny. I'm trying to think, do I have any thoughts? One thing is that if you watch an old movie, if once you get in the zone where because I feel like if it's social media or whatever, it's like you kind of have to get back into old movies, because at first you'd be like, why is it so slow or something? But as soon as you get over that, then they're just the greatest. And but it's funny because they're the percentage of them being good is like 90% or more, just kind of because back in the day, like I think film costs a lot of money and blah blah blah. So like if they're gonna make a movie, they're just gonna make sure it's good. Plus, maybe just people were better and smarter back then. I don't know, but like so many kind of before I don't know, you basically before Star Wars, but I don't know, even the 80s. But 80s is when video kind of started to be a thing, and that's kind of when potentially you could argue, at least with the film thing, if the point is like, oh, it used to cost so much money to make a movie that they would only make good movies, which isn't even necessarily true, but that would have started to end around like the 80s or whatever. Um, but and yeah, like the 90s were so good, but there's some bad movies in the 90s. But I feel like I mean maybe there were bad movies even way back in the day. But I'll just pick them randomly. I'll just watch an old movie like an old western or an old Sword and Sandal. I watched randomly a great movie. It was called Major Dundee. It was starring the guy who plays Ben-Hur, Charlton Heston. And it was like a western, kind of a post-Civil War dude kind of going on a vendetta against some Indians for revenge, blah blah blah. But it's funny, like that's what it was like novelistic. Like this, it was like stuff that you'd never see in modern movies because um it's like their point is to kill the Indians. That's like the whole point of the whole movie. And they keep getting distracted by like other stuff. And it's so awesome. It's like these little short stories of their distractions. And it's like very novelistic as the only word I can think of, where it's like the characters get built up so much and all the relationships and specifically two characters. It's kind of about that. And yeah, it was like just so refreshing. It's fun to watch those kind of movies, but even those I'll watch like 20 of them and I'm like, maybe I'll never watch another movie again for the rest of my life. Have I seen enough movies? Like they're kind of you kind of know it. I don't know. It's like, is my life just a quest to watch the next good movie, and I have to dig backwards in time? And yeah, you find more, but there's no. And it's like, yeah, it's like there's no good movies coming out today, except for random ones like Barbie and Oppenheimer. Maybe once a year, you might get a Barbenheimer. These days, you're like, oh, thank you for the Barbenheimer. May I have another? May I please have? It used to be Barbenheimers every weekend in the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s. Kind of the 50s is where, and 60s is like the zone. I've been watching some movies recently. It's funny too. They're like, I don't know. They're not, they're like hardcore. They just don't show as much stuff maybe as maybe modern might be a little more gory or whatever. But like in Major Dundee, like people get tortured and shit or whatever, murdered in terrible ways. They just don't dwell on it or like show it that much, but it's all implied, and you're like, well, they're definitely implying it. Angela Cree, any movie you might do a video on? That's a good question. I want to do another YouTube essay, but I don't know what it would be about yet. I haven't been struck by. I have a few like possibilities, but nothing really struck me. Although there was one, a random one was it would be called In Defense of Deus Ex Machina, but I don't know exactly what that would be other than that. But I can tell you guys now is there. I was thinking because I remember they always say Deus Ex Machina endings are terrible. Don't do them. Good writers don't use Deus Ex Machina endings. And for some reason, I was thinking, I was like, there's quite a few that are really good. But one is Indiana Jones, and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Just it is like a Deus Ex Machina ending. And then another one is 2001: A Space Odyssey. It is Deus Ex Machina ending. So I'm like, what are the benefits? Because these classic movies, some of these movies are considered the best of all time. They use it. So why are people saying as a rule not to use it? Like, what are the pros and cons of Deus Ex Machina endings? And like in defense, I want to defend it. I want to use it myself. And there are definitely some pros. I think one of the main pros is if you have a Deus Ex Machina ending, It just means your story takes place in a world where God exists, which is just awesome, kind of. So that already is like a win. It's like cool. Or like if it's not God, it's like a god in 2001, a godly force, I guess you could call it, whatever, you know. That's just kind of cool. So that you're dealing with that. The other thing is it is similar with kind of with what's it called? Shaggy Dog style storytelling, where it lets you step into new realms of freedom with storytelling. Like it actually is very freeing that you can do even more whatever the hell you want, and step away from normal things that might be kind of holding you down, like 3 act structure or hero's journey. It's like throw a Deus Ex Machina in there, the God machine. The other thing, your character is not. It's kind of anti-ego for your main character, which is so great because that's kind of a problem with the hero's journey stuff. Is like the like it's about so when they like Indiana Jones, for example, it kind of fits like some hero's journey stuff, but it's kind of fun because it's like it's not the way that I've mocked. Like if it actually was Hero's Journey, it in the negative way where I think about it, kind of it would be like Indiana Jones somehow goes on a quest, and throughout the process of his quest, he like overcomes his like fear of snakes or whatever. Like it would be all about the fact that he hates snakes, and it would all in the end he would not hate snakes. Whereas it's just like a side thing, a little joke. They don't care, but it's there. Like, oh yeah, he hates snakes. He has to confront snakes. It's not meant to be a hero's journey thing. It's more meant to be like a gag almost. Wouldn't that be funny if a guy who hates snakes had to just deal with a bunch of freaking snakes? But so yeah, if you do it hero's journey, it immediately gets like kind of egocentric, not on the writer, but on the character. Like the world revolves around them, the story revolves around them. And the second you make it Deus Ex Machina, they do not fucking matter. God will smash them, and they're just stuck in a whirlwind of something much larger than themselves. That story is always better than like a story about the world where they are the center of the universe and it all centers around them. Maybe not always. It could, I don't know. And you could do like a hero's journey where they are part of a larger tapestry, and you could do a hero's journey probably in a world where God exists and have like less of the what are considered negative aspects of the Deus Ex Machina, which the main negative is they call it like lazy writing because if you write yourself into a corner, then you get yourself out with the Deus Ex Machina. But even with that, I'm like, so that's exactly what Indiana Jones does. They get themselves into a corner and then they get it out with the Deus Ex Machina. But if you think about it, it's so awesome and it's so awesome like thematically and stuff. It's so cool that Indiana Jones knows not to look at it and everyone else does look. Um and I don't know. Actually, there if you, he has a little bit of an arc where he kind of has to accept that there is some supernatural out there. He starts as a skeptic and by the end is kind of like not, but that's not even like the point or really there because at the end it's almost the fact that he knows not to look at it. I mean, that's cool though. It's like the fact that he knows not to look at it, is that an affirmation of his skepticism or an affirmation of the fact that he has changed? It could like go either way. He has the instinct to know not to look at it. That is like really cool. Um, and it's something it doesn't exactly have like a setup or a payoff. It's just badass in the moment. Indiana Jones made a split second decision. It's not like he read a warning. He found a tablet. The warning says, if you're ever in a situation where the tablets, like the ark gets open and ghosts are flying around, murdering people's faces, melting their faces, then whatever you do, do not look at them and just close your eyes. You'll feel a lot of wind blowing and stuff, but you'll be okay. And then that happens, and he's like, Marion, good luck because I happen to have read something in this, it applies now in this point. That would be like a setup and payoff. That would be like dumb. But what it is like Indiana Jones is fucking not even knowing. It's like, he's like, I don't even know. He's like, don't look at it. It's like awesome. So I got 2 examples. I'm like, are there more where the Deus Ex Machina is like awesome? And I don't know. I was like, I feel like it could almost be awesome in like every case. Maybe it's like a fallacy that they say it's bad. I mean, the Greeks did it all the time. They did it for a reason. They did it because it was badass. But I need to find more examples, and then I could like make that like a essay on YouTube or something. Um, Let me see what you guys are saying. Wyatt Eastman, what's up, man? Hey, Gnarl, what's up, dude? Godly forces and freedom. Man, I need to catch up with these live streams later for sure. I was just coloring, but I did have a little rant right at the end that wasn't bad. Angela Curry spurred me on some inspiration. Michael Dishe says, in old movies, I watch for scenes where they enter a room and immediately pour a drink and light up a smoke. Then dialogue starts. Yeah, that kind of stuff is fun. Yeah, I did write a little essay for you guys know I have the storytelling essay mailing list. There's like 320 on it. It's been like that for like a couple years now, maybe. Like it hasn't really gone up or down, but maybe I should post that link. I don't know, but sign up for that if you haven't. Um, you can find it on Twitter, hopefully. But I posted a link. It's old movies. It is kind of interesting because it's like a hypothesis. I'm like pretty sure this is true. Where you would say, okay, old movies had masculinity, new movies don't. This is not exactly true because new movies do have masculinity, but what they don't have that old movies did have is old movies had multiple masculine characters all like butting heads, all just kind of like doing their thing. But because they're masculine, there's always that little tension. It's like good guy, bad guy, side character. They're all masculine men. Dude walks by, just some random guy, masculine man. Like it's like the water they swim in, the environment. They didn't even know it was like a blind spot because they're just all masculine, manly men. But because of that, you get this like psychological tension constantly, and it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's what we love. It's what we think nostalgically when we look back on those movies. It's what we feel, and then we identify it as oh, old movies had masculinity, new movies don't. But new movies do. But the problem is they only give it to one character. They treat it as a checkbox. So they're like, okay, we got our one masculine guy, and then we got one funny guy, one smart guy, and then we got like our girl. They like make their team. They organize the checklist differently. And even if it's a buddy cop thing, it's the same thing. This guy's masculine, this guy's like feminine, or this guy's whatever, like blah, something else. Um, yeah, they even do it with uh yeah, like teams, buddy cops, and good guy, bad guy even. Like cuz even if a good guy, bad guy are both masculine, that's kind of rare. They used to do that all the time. They don't do that much these days anymore at all now either. The bad guy will be like feminine or whatever, however they do it. Um but if you have them both masculine, that's where the benefit of it is you do get like a weird psychological charge that's just naturally there from like evolution of like two manly men. So in the essay, I'm even like two manly men saying hi, two manly men saying bye. Like even that, it's like there you'd be amazed at the kind of stuff that comes from it. Um, and it can potentially be really emotional. It can be the kind of thing too. I'm always interested if I see a scene that ramps up within itself, like a self-perpetuating scene that doesn't rely on the context of other scenes, doesn't rely on setups and payoffs. I'm like, how much can you ramp up one moment that's like crazy? And one way is kind of with the masculine energy. It was a movie I saw called The Vikings. It stars Kirk Douglas is actually this sort of bad guy, and he's kind of redeemed a little bit. He's a badass though. And then, but there's an old Viking who's like his dad, and I don't know if I can retell the whole thing, but anyway, the old Viking he really wants to die with a sword in his hand, and or he's going to get thrown into a pit of wolves, and he's asking the guy who's going to throw him in the wolf den, who's kind of getting forced to do it, but he's going to do it. He's like, cut my bindings and give me the sword. Like, let me die with a sword in my hand so I can enter Valhalla. And the guy's like hesitating, and you see the old man is just like he's not exactly crying, but he's like fucking emotional. He's like pleading with the dude. He's like, "Don't let me die without a sword in my hand." Like he doesn't say it more than once, but he just looks at him. He's like, "Don't." I get goosebumps thinking about it. He's like, "Don't let me die without a sword in my hand." So the guy does cut his bindings, give him the sword. He goes, ah, whatever. Like, because he wasn't supposed to do that because all the guards are watching. They're like, oh, the king's like, what? Why are you doing that? And the guy's like, oh, and it kind of fakes him out. They all back up. And then he goes, Odin! And he jumps into the pit of wolves and gets eaten alive. It's like so badass. But yeah. And I don't know. That sort of had a setup because they do set up how important it is for a Viking to die with a sword in their hand to enter Valhalla, but it's also just like there. It's like baked into the psychology of like two men talking. That counts as like saying goodbye. The Alamo. This could be like a video, maybe it's like men saying goodbye. But the Alamo, they have their last dinner the night before the battle. And they're like, "This is last chance. Anyone who wants to go can go." Nobody goes. They'll just eat in silence. It's like super emotional. That gives me goosebumps. Super badass. I don't know. It's interesting. Um, yeah. Let me see what you guys say. Cool. So, Boy and the Heron was good. I want to see it. That's one too where the little critiques it's getting make me want to see it more. Like people are like, it's weird. It's his weirdest movie yet, or something like that. I'm like, oh, I want to see it. The widget. Hey, Gnarl, what's up? Oh yeah, sorry, I'm catching up still. How to how to have God in a universe existence without simply giving the good guys a cheat code to win? Yeah, in a sense, it's a leap of faith. He has to finally trust that the myths he's been chasing are real, that God exists. An omnipotent existence without directly intervening could always explain any mystery outright, but that would defeat humans' learning. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Amazing animation, though. Oh, cool, cool. Cool. I never seen the Machina movie, but I appreciate the concept. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's just a concept that's in different movies. So have you seen that's like in Indiana Jones and 2001. There's one other that I thought I can't remember, but I don't know. There's some episodes of Star Trek, quite a few are like that, and they just end that way. It's always kind of cool though. Yeah. Yep. I was gonna say one more thing. I'm about ready to sign off here. Thanks everyone for hanging out though. Good chatting. Classic Narwhal solo live stream. Hanging with the chat. Lots of fun. Um yeah. I did have one other thing I was gonna say, but I kind of forget, and it kind of doesn't matter. But I think I will end the stream. I'm gonna finish these last two panels behind the scenes and yeah, watch a little TV or something. I don't know. Try and stream again in the next week or so. Keep you guys posted. I'm working a lot on the Percival. I finished the first draft. It's 202 pages. That one has the force of God in the story, represented by the Grail. And there's some debate as to whether it even is like God force or just like a supernatural force, possibly demonic force. Some people think that, but it's like this force in the story. It's definitely like tipping the scales various ways, but not for or against the good guys for sure. In fact, it's like more against the good guys, which makes them kind of like super want to hell at the moon. Um, but yeah, that stuff was really fun to write. I just gotta freaking get it all perfect, and it'll be my favorite script yet. Super long though, 202. That would turn into a 400-page graphic novel. That's the one I want to do. 20 pages of it, first issue, traditional, and use that as a little submission kind of thing to Mark Millar, see if I can impress him with some traditional art. Possibly work with him at some point, maybe. You never know. Um, yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. Yep. Cool. All right. Bye, everyone. Good hanging.